Will I go blind? That was the very first question that came in my head when the consultant told me I'd got glaucoma. And it was quite, I'm going to put my teeth in, it was quite worrying to think about actually going blind. Let me tell you basically what happened. I went to the opticians. I'd not been for a while. I needed new glasses, and I'd only got a very gentle prescription, so the glasses tended to last me a long while before I needed new ones. Anyway, I went to the opticians and they did the usual thing. They did the picture down the eye where they take a photograph of the retina of the eye. I did that silly field test thing where you put your head up against this like dome thing and press a button every time you see a red light. And then I had the puffs of air that they blow in your eye. Never thought any more of it because it was a regular practice. Anyway, when I went in to see the optician, he said, "Ooh, ah." And I thought, what does ooh, ah mean? He says, you've got an exceptionally high pressure in your right eye. It is, I can't remember whether they said it was 44 or 48. And I said, what should it be? He says, well, your other eye is 14. He says, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you an appointment to see the consultant. So anyway, he did the rest of the test, you know, read the letters on the wall and sorted me out with some new glasses and everything else. And a couple of weeks later, a couple of weeks later, I got a letter from the hospital to go and see the consultant at Doncaster. Anyway, he did some more tests, took some more photos, and then he shines his light in my eye, and he's got this prism thing like, so he can have a look round in my eye and all sorts of things. And he says you've got exceptionally high pressure in your eyeball, which can lead to glaucoma. He says you've possibly already got glaucoma. And now I already knew what glaucoma was because my granddad had glaucoma and it did affect his vision quite badly in his later years. You know, I'm talking about when he was in his 80s. My dad never suffered with glaucoma, not as far as I'm aware anyway. I knew his vision faded as he got older, but as far as I'm aware, he never suffered with glaucoma. He never said anything about it. He did have cataracts, and he had operation on his eyes for cataracts, but you know, that's not unusual when you're getting on a little bit. Anyway, going back to the consultant, consultant did me a prescription where I had to put drops in my eyes every morning, or just in my right eye, the one that was causing the problem. And it says it's a bit strange because normally when people get glaucoma, they get it in both eyes. You've only got it in one. And I explained to him that quite a few years before, I had some altercation with a gang of people, myself and a friend out one night, and we were attacked by quite a few people. And one of them actually stuck his thumb in my eyeball and his thumbnail split my eye at the bottom, and I had to go to Rotherham Eye Hospital and have my eyeball stitched up. And he says that's probably what caused the problem. He says if your eyeball gets pushed out of shape, and obviously if you've had to have your eyeball stitched up, that can affect the shape of your eyeball, and that can cause the glaucoma. Now, glaucoma is caused by a buildup of fluid inside the eyeball, and what it does is it affects the nerve at the back of the eye, the retinal nerve that goes into your brain, so it can't transfer what the eyeball sees into your brain. basically, I mean, I'm not an expert on this by any means, but basically what it does is it more or less kills the vision in the eye. Now, the problem with the glaucoma is that it's not something that happens overnight. It's one of these silent diseases that can cause problems like blood pressure and blood sugar and all that kind of thing. So you may have glaucoma and not even know you've got it, so go and get your eyes tested. Apparently, if you're over 50, up to like in the UK anyway, 4% of people have glaucoma and it's undiagnosed. So, like I say, go and get it tested. Now, like I say, this was quite a few years ago. It's probably about 12 or 13 years ago. So I've been putting eye drops in ever since. After a while, my eye must have been getting sensitive to these eye drops. And every time I put the eye drops in, it started to really, really sting. And it was with these dropper bottles, you know, so you get one bottle and it lasts you 4 weeks and you have to put these drops in. Now I'm on the little individual ones. They changed the prescription and I'm on the little individual ones where you twist the top off, put your drops in and then throw it away. I'm now on one drop in the morning and an evening, and then a different medication in the morning, and once again another medication on an evening. Have I noticed any difference in my vision in my right eye? Yeah, a little bit. After 14 years, I'm with glaucoma. I'm not surprised, but you know, I'm 70. I'm 70 now, so or I'm 70 in September anyway. That's this year, 2025. Depends when you're watching the video. I make sure that these drops go in religiously. In fact, Mrs. PJ makes sure I put them in religiously. And I think over the past year, I may have missed 2 sets of drops. And I believe the only reason I missed them was I was ill and I'd had an early night in bed and she didn't want to wake me up to put my drops in. Now, I don't think missing a couple of days over a long period of time is going to make a vast difference. But one of the other problems that I did get was that must have caused some sort of aggravation in my eye, and I started to get cataract. Now, this eye was fine, didn't get a cataract in that one, but I got a cataract in this one, and it developed really, really quickly. Normally, cataracts take quite a while to build up, and it takes quite a while for you to, you know, notice that you've got a cataract and for it to start to affect your vision. But mine come on in just a few months. So I had to go and have an operation and the cataract remove, and they put one of these false lenses in your eye and all that kind of stuff. And this lasted, a few months. And after a few months, my vision was starting to get a little bit blurred again. So I went back to the specialist. They said that the drops were causing a buildup of protein over the lens that they'd put in, which was fairly common. And I had to go to a different eye hospital, and they did this laser treatment and kind of blasted this protein build-up off my lens, and it's been fine since. Now, what is glaucoma? Glaucoma, like I say, is a build-up of pressure in the eye, and what happens is your eyeball has this fluid in it, but it's got like vents around the eye that lets this fluid out. And glaucoma, how can I put it? These vents start to get blocked, and so that fluid can't get out, and the pressure builds up and builds up and builds up, which eventually causes this this build up and the problem with the nerve in your eye, and that's basically what glaucoma is. Like I say, remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just going on what I've been told, and quite a few things I've read about it, because obviously as soon as I found out about glaucoma, I had to go on Google and do a bit of research and have a look. Now, one of the reasons that I'm making this video is it's Monday today, and on Wednesday I'm back at Doncaster Hospital. No, I'm not back at Doncaster Hospital. I'm one of the other eye hospitals, I can't remember which it is, for my checkup. And it's always a bit of an anxious time, because I just don't know what they're going to say. And I don't know if they're going to tell me it's got worse or if it's got the same. The only thing about glaucoma is any damage done, that's it. It can't be, it will never ever get better. It will never reverse itself. The drops only stop the progression of the glaucoma. So I've got this bit of anxiety about going and seeing the specialist and seeing what he's going to say. Anyway, what I would do is I would advise anybody to go and get their eyes tested. Now, I can tell when I'm feeling run down, because I do get a bit of pain in my eye, and that glaucoma can cause pain actually because of the pressure in the eyeball. When I'm tired and when I'm run down, I do get a bit of pain in my eye, and it just feels like somebody's pressing against my eyeball. It's like toothache, but in your eye. It's hard to describe, but that's what it is. So take my advice and get your eyes tested at least once a year. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, this is in the UK. If you've got a history of glaucoma in your family, either siblings or your parents or something like that, you can get a free eye test. So when you go, I go to Specsavers. When I go to Specsavers, they say to me, do you pay for your eye test? And I just say, no, I've got glaucoma in the family, and they mark it on the form. And I don't pay for the eye test. So if there is a history of glaucoma in the family, don't worry, you don't have to pay for your eye test. Which is, I don't know how much it is now. I think the last time I paid it was about 10 or 11 quid. But anyway, you don't have to pay for it. Right, so anxiety aside, that's about it for this video. If you found it interesting, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you do suffer from glaucoma, or you do have glaucoma in the family. Let me know in the comments below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye everybody, I'll see you soon.